Hello everyone. Welcome back if you've visited my channel before. My name is Christy and this channel is all about money and mindset and the intentional focus on those two things to decrease stress and increase happiness and joy in our lives. And so I'm coming to you today with another cash stuffing envelope video for my side hustle. So I have two different side hustles that I earn an income for along with my full-time job. The first one is reselling. And so I resell on eBay and Poshmark primarily, and I resell new and thrifted clothing. And I also sell things around my house on Facebook Marketplace. So you'll see a little bit about that in my cash stuffing. I also am a self-published author, and so I earn royalties every month that from Amazon and Google and all of those places. So I haven't published anything in quite a while, but I still, earn a little bit of money, not as much as my reselling business now. But as you'll see, as we go through the cash stuffing, that's definitely something that's going to be a bigger focus for me in 2021. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First things first, just want to get organized around how much money we have to stuff in these envelopes. Now, my original intention was to do these videos every week with my weekly reselling income. And so I did my first video 2 weeks ago, and then life happened because life always happens, right? So I'm doing a cash stuffing for the last 2 weeks here today. And let's take a look at those numbers. So the first thing, I wanted to tell you exactly how much money that we're going to be stuffing today. So you can see I have, for Facebook Marketplace, I have $20. So I sold something that I had around my house that I wanted to get rid of. And then on eBay, so this is actually just one item that I sold on eBay in the last 2 weeks, but it was a $45 like suit. So it was, a nicer priced item, and that includes like shipping and some additional things there. So that is the eBay income. And then on Poshmark, so I move my money over from my Poshmark balance once a week, every Wednesday, to make sure it's in my account every Friday. So I have a weekly income. But that's one of the nice things about Poshmark is you can actually move your balance over as soon as the funds become available. Once the person who bought your item accepts the item, the money's available in your account. So I could actually do this more often if I wanted to, but just for the sake of keeping things organized, I'm doing it, once a week. So for the last 2 weeks, I've had $166.50 in Poshmark income, which gives me a total of $244.88. One thing I do want to mention about Poshmark and this income on Poshmark. So I am a part-time Poshmark reseller, and this is really indicative of the fact that I haven't been focusing as much on my Poshmark business actually for quite a while. Now, at the peak, I was having months on Poshmark, just Poshmark by itself, before I even moved on to eBay, where I could make between $1,000 to $1,200 a month, and that's just selling part-time. So I wanted you all to know that, while this is what my numbers look like right now, in the past, I have had them be much higher when I've been able to focus a lot more on the Poshmark business. So $244.88. I'm gonna flip this over here, and this is my cute little, I just found this notebook at Target, so it's nothing special, but I thought it was kind of cute. And this is where I'm organizing all of the income and expenses around my business for 2021, because I want to be much more focused on everything around my side hustle income this year. So taxes next year are gonna be a lot easier than they were this year or in previous years. I rounded this up just for sake of numbers and making it easy. So my income total, $245. Now this is another change that I'm making for 2021. I am just going to go ahead and take taxes right off the top of anything that I am making for my reselling business. And then Once a month is when I get paid for my other, the royalties on my books. And it's just to set expectations when you see those numbers. They're nothing huge by any means, but again, I haven't been focused on it. It's like coffee money, which, you know, I'll definitely take it. Every dollar counts when you are doing these types of side hustles. So the taxes I take right off the top. I put this in a separate account at my bank. So you're not going to see me stuffing my taxes dollars. I've already moved that over into that account. So after I take how much I made over the last 2 weeks, minus my taxes, 30% for my taxes, I have $171 that I'm going to stuff in my envelopes. And I separate these in two different ways. So I have my envelopes that are related to my business expenses. And I have two different categories that are ongoing type of fees that I want to make sure that I'm accounting for before I take any other money for myself. And that is around my expenses. So for business supplies and expenses, I am putting $30 into my envelope. So this is things like mailing supplies, my virtual assistant that shares my Poshmark closet. I have a couple of other smaller subscriptions to things that give me business analytics that I get charged for every month. So I want to take some money and make sure I'm setting that aside to cover my business expenses. And then of course, because my reselling business is primarily reselling new and used clothing, I need to have inventory. And I have many, many bins in my garage, which it's this way, in my garage that I store inventory that I have purchased to sell on Poshmark and eBay. So I'm setting aside $30 here for inventory as well. Now, once we get through expenses, I have still some extra dollars here from the money that I made up above here. And what I'm doing is I'm putting these into 4 of my sinking funds. So these are envelopes that I have already started stuffing at the beginning of the year as I was getting all aligned in my budget. But I realized as I've been going along here over the last 2 months so far of 2021, that these are probably some categories that I have underestimated in terms of how much money I'm going to need. So what I wanted to do was account for that and take side hustle money and put that into my sinking funds. So just to level set, I do not have any consumer credit card debt. The only debt that I have left is one, I have a lease on my car, which we won't talk about that. I have student loan debt, and then I also have my mortgage. But other than that, I don't have any other debt. Otherwise, instead of putting this in sinking funds, I would be definitely putting that towards debt. But from my regular full-time job, I feel that I can, appropriately take care of extra debt payments. All right, so that's where we are, and let's go ahead and get started on cash stuffing. So I'm going to move these off to the side here, and then I'm going to get out my envelope of cash from the bank. It's always super fun to go to the bank and ask for, a bunch of cash. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of organize these here. All right, I'll put this here. And then I just realized, because actually I filmed this video earlier and I had really bad shadows because I was filming this on my dining room table. And so I had some really bad shadows. I decided to go ahead and redo my video. So I'm going to go ahead. I just had to pull these back out of my envelopes after I had already stuffed them for my first video, just so you guys can see an actual cash stuffing. Okay, so let's go ahead. And the first category is business expenses. So I was putting $30 here towards those business expenses. Now, just in case you have a question about this, and I will put a link to this in the comments below, these envelopes that I have, these are just regular old printer paper that I had a free downloadable PDF from the Budget Mom by subscribing to her email newsletter. She sends out an email newsletter every Friday, and she has some kind of free downloadable PDF. And a couple of weeks ago, she had this new kind of design of just cash envelopes. So I printed those, cut them out, put them together, and you can see free little envelopes here. So that's where these came from. Business expenses, and then as well, just last week, she had also a download for a free tracker that you could use in your cash envelopes. I'm all about the free, guys. I'm all about like, let's see how we can make this as inexpensive as possible for keeping us on track from a budget perspective. Because I always think it's a little bit weird when we spend a ton of money to get organized around our budget, when obviously what we're trying to do is save money. But we do what we can with the resources we have. Okay, so I already have some money in here, and I'm gonna be adding $30 today. So I'm gonna take a 20 and a 5 here, and I should have $60 here. We'll go ahead and do a quick count. 20, 40, 50, 60. All right, for my business expenses every month. Okay, next envelope is my inventory envelope. So here we are also going to be putting $30. And you can see since I just started this tracking a couple of weeks ago, I did have a purchase. I have a super cute pair of Kate Spade shoes, little kitten heels. They have a slight defect on them, but I still bought them because they were only $5, guys. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. I can't wait to get them listed. So I'm gonna be adding here again, $30. And so I should have $55 here. We have 20, 40, 50, 5. Okay. So that takes care of the business stuffing, or the stuffing for my business envelopes. Now, we're gonna move on to my sinking funds. So I actually have 12 different envelopes that I use for my sinking funds. And this came in a cute little wallet. It has the envelopes already in here as well as trackers. And this is something that I found on Amazon. I think it's called, let me flip this around the right way, Clever Fox. Again, I will attach the link in the description below, although the last time I looked, they were out of stock on Amazon, but you never know when they come back in stock, so just in case anybody is interested in those. So the first envelope that I'm gonna be putting some extra money in is Christmas. Guys, this is the first year that I am pre-planning for Christmas. And again, this is a category that I believe that I kind of underestimated. So at least I'm putting, some thought into Christmas here in February of 2021, right? So 10 months, 11 months ahead of time. But I'm pretty sure that we are going to be traveling, assuming we can travel at that point in time, to my family who lives in La Crosse. So it's drivable, but I would have travel expenses and I would have a hotel room. So I didn't account for travel expenses in my Christmas budget. So that's why I wanted to just, from my side hustle money, put a little bit of extra money into Christmas. So we're going to be putting $25 in here today. And I've already added it to my tracker. Like I said, I did record this video a little bit earlier. I was so bummed when I went back and looked at it and it just didn't look good. So we don't upload things that don't look good, that people may not like. So let's go ahead and count. We should have $297 here already for Christmas. So 100, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 260, 270, 275, 280, 285, 290, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. Oh, goodness. That was a little bit stressful. Counting money on camera, I watch them in cash stuffing videos all the time. It's a little bit stressful, but I made it through. So, a little bit concerned about that. All right, so let's get this back in here. Oh my goodness, doesn't want to go back in. Okay, there we go. Christmas. Okay, so gifts is the next one. Gifts. So I wanted to account for gifts that I was buying for all of my family members across the year. And what I didn't think about, that I realized when my son turned 4 last week, is that I also wanted to include some extra dollars for things like birthday parties, buying cake, buying balloons, buying anything that you're making for the meal around having people gather together. So I didn't necessarily account for that in my original gifts budget, which is why I am putting some extra money in this now. So I am putting an extra $20 in my gifts sinking fund here. Okay, so I add this in, and we should have $245. So 51, 52, 240, let's try that again. Sorry. 51, 52, 220, 230, 240, 245. See, it's stressful counting these on camera, but made it through again. Okay, very good. So that was gifts. Author expenses. Again, another category. So I mentioned this earlier that this would be kind of considered a business expense, except I'm not doing anything right now with my author business. And so this is more pre-planning for when I get to the point a little bit later in this year that I am publishing more books. One of the things you don't realize as a self-published author is how many things there are that you have to pre-plan for, or you have to prepay for. So things that traditional, if you were being published on a traditional route, you contract with or you sign a contract with a publisher, and they do all the things like marketing and the cover and proofreading and editing and all those things. As a self-published author, you do that all yourself. So you have to have the funds to be able to pay for that. And in the past, I would have just put that on a credit card, and I don't put things on credit cards anymore. I cash flow everything, or I don't do it. So I am pre-planning for the point in time a little bit later in this year when I am going to need these expenses or this cash. So I'm putting $11 here, and I should have $74 in this envelope. I'm one of those people who's a stickler for having everything in the right direction. So you see me flipping things around, that's why. Okay, so 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3. Oh, did I lose 4? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to go back and find 4. It was here earlier, and I'm gonna have to go back and find that. Okay, I'm missing $1 here. I will find it later, and maybe nope, it's not in my envelope. Okay, so I will find that. It was here. There should be $74 in this envelope, so I'm gonna just put this off to the side. I'm not gonna put it back in my wallet. All right, and the last one is house. So since I filmed my last video, I put an offer in on a new house, which was accepted. Yay! Very exciting. However, that means that not only because it's a bigger house, I'm going to have to furnish a bigger house. This house that I'm living in right now, I have to put it on the market, which means that I need to do some different things here to be able to make my townhouse all ready for being able to put on the market. So again, kind of an underfunded sinking fund, and I'm gonna put the remaining $55 that I have here into this envelope. So I should have $265 here after I add the $55 here. Okay, let's do a quick count on this. 51, 52, 220, 240, 250, 260, 265. All right, so all of the money from my side hustles for the last 2 weeks now stuffed and in both my expenses envelopes as well as my sinking funds, and we are good to go. So if you have a question about anything about reselling on Poshmark, or I know a little bit more about eBay these days as well, I would love to hear that in the comments below. If you like this video and you would like to see more of them, please be sure to click the like button, as well as clicking the subscribe button means you get to see all of the videos that I put out on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this helpful and interesting. And until I see you next time, stay tuned. Have a great one. Bye.